To replace the instrument cluster in both the 1969 and 1970 Mustangs, you need to first remove the dash. Then you got to take out 4 quarter-inch screws on the top of the cluster, as well as 2 on the sides of the cluster. Be careful with the ones on the sides, as they're made out of plastic, so don't over-tighten when you put it back in. Then you have 2 Phillips to remove next to the steering column. After you remove all the screws, now comes the hard part. There's 2 connectors you have to take out, the one that goes for the speedometer and the one that goes to everything else. The one that goes to everything else is a little brown connector piece that you have to squeeze both the top and the bottom to get it off, and the top has a little hook you have to make sure it gets away from. On the other side you have the speedometer one. It's a lot harder to do unless you see how to do it. Since I have it all out, I can explain it to you a lot easier. So this is the brown connector piece I talked to you about. Like I said, you just got to squeeze both parts of it, and when you put it back in, make sure that tab is at the top. That way it lines up with all the pieces, and do be careful when you put it in not to mess it up, because it can get creased in there when you put it back. The other piece, which is the harder piece, is the one for the speedometer. It has this little lever you have to pull in towards you in order for it to come apart. That is a lot easier said than done until after you do it once, and then you know how to do it, but you also already did it once. So you just kind of have to mess around with it until it eventually comes off. I can't really explain it better than that, so sorry. So a pretty common issue with instrument clusters is the voltage regulator not working. And that's what I'm going to show you how to replace. So, really easy thing. It's kind of just like changing a battery. Take out the screw. Use a screwdriver or something to pry up those little tabs so you don't mess up the circuit board, especially if you still have the old circuit board. Just be careful with it because it is fragile. And once it's off, you got the new one, you just plug it in like a battery, does the same, and then you can screw it back in. Be sure you don't throw away the old voltage regulator just in case it is not the problem. In case there's a different problem, that way you can return the new one if you want, or sell it, or if you just want to have a spare, it doesn't really matter, but keep it just in case. The other problem that can happen with these is the circuit board can be messed up. In my own experience, this didn't actually fix my problem, and I kind of wasted my time and money on it. It is a pretty involved fix, so yeah. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Thanks for watching.